What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing the preview of Manchester City's home game against Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup 5th round. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to my friends over at Stocks FC for sponsoring today's preview. Stocks FC are a football stocks market where you can buy stocks in your favourite players and earn cash rewards based on performances. Stocks FC are giving away 5 free stocks to every user that signs up this month to help get you started, and it also gives you the chance to familiarise yourself with the platform. You can scout young new prodigies and buy them early before the price potentially rises. You can also buy stocks in star players too. You can get rewards when players are named in teams of the week, month and season. You can also get in-play rewards where players get a point for every goal, assist or key pass that they make, and this will allow you to earn weekly dividend payments. Your 3 loan stocks are eligible for cash reward payouts for 1 month, so why not get involved? Check the link in the description and get your 5 free loan stocks and begin your journey with Stocks FC. And thank you to Stocks FC for sponsoring this preview. So, having a look then at this game taking place at the Etihad Stadium in the FA Cup 5th round on Saturday 1st of March 2025 with a 5:45 PM GMT kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live on ITV4. Anyone heading to the Etihad Stadium, do enjoy yourself. So our opponents for this game at Plymouth Argyle, formed in 1886, led by manager Miron Muslic. He did a wonderful job with Cercle Bruges by seeing them go from relegation candidates in the Belgium top division and managed to guide them in the space of just over a season into the European spots. He was sacked, however, in December of 2024 due to poor results, which saw him make a move to England in January 2025 and take over in charge at Plymouth, who are in the Championship, which is the second tier of English football. So they currently find themselves, Plymouth, 22nd in the Championship. That is a relegation spot, and should they be relegated at the end of the season, that would see them move from the Championship into League One. So it would move them from Tier 2 into Tier 3 of English football. And if you wasn't aware, Manchester City in the 4th round played Leyton Orient, who at the time was sitting 6th in the table in League One, which is the division that Plymouth could be playing in next season if they are relegated from the Championship. Now, I'm not saying that Plymouth are on the same level as Leyton Orient, but what I am suggesting is that in terms of their level, we are not a million miles away from a playoff team in League One and looking at a relegation candidate in the Championship. It gets very competitive in League One. It gets very competitive in the Championship. There is still a big step up from League One into the Championship, and Plymouth right now are a better team than Leyton Orient. Plymouth knocked out Brentford in the 3rd round away from home, who are in the Premier League, of course. Brentford knocked out Liverpool at home, currently the champions. Man City haven't beaten Liverpool this season, but Plymouth have. So we have to take them very seriously, and I'm going to ignore the form. I'm going to ignore that it's 6 wins in 34 games in the Championship for Plymouth. I'm going to be looking at that they've lost just 1 game in the last 7 in all competitions. 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. Included in that was that 1-0 win against Liverpool in the 4th round at home. And if this was at home park, this would be incredibly difficult for Manchester City. But Plymouth have already pulled off a brilliant result away from home against Brentford. Let's not forget, Manchester City played Brentford back in January and we didn't beat them. We were 2-0 up, we blew it and we drew 2-2. Whereas Plymouth, they managed to beat Brentford away from home 1-0. They're keeping clean sheets against top Premier League teams. They know how to defend. They're a very physical side. They're difficult to beat. They're difficult to break down. They might not create many opportunities, but the opportunities that they do create, they're going to put them away. So Manchester City have to be very, very, very careful on this banana skin, because Plymouth They're bringing a big away following, just over 7,500 fans. That sold out, I do believe, on season ticket sale. There was quite a lot of Plymouth fans wanting to go into the home end, which Manchester City have had a look at. Anyone whose postcode sits in Devon, Cornwall, in the Plymouth area, have all had their memberships cancelled and refunded, and their tickets for the game cancelled and refunded, all depending on when you have signed up to be a member and if you've got a previous purchase history at Manchester City. So there's big demand for this game in Plymouth. The fans are well up for it. They're going to have a cracking day out in Manchester, I'm sure. The players are going to be loving it as well. This is 100% a huge cup final for them. They're going to raise their game and then some. So City, with a rotated team in place as well, are going to have to play a near perfect game to be able to win this game. It's not going to be easy at all. Now, they do have some dangers. Ryan Hardy, the first of the dangers, a Scottish attacker who scored against Liverpool, but he's injured. He's not scheduled back for another couple of weeks, and that's not only a big blow for Plymouth, but also a big blow for Ryan Hardy. He's the man that took them into the 5th round. He's the man who helped Plymouth to knock out Liverpool, and he really does deserve to be the first name on the team sheet when playing away from home against Manchester City, because this is what the FA Cup is all about. Plymouth want to be playing the likes of Brentford, Liverpool and Manchester City. So they've managed to have a great game at home against Liverpool, knocking out the who's going to be the Premier League champions for this season, and now they want to take on the current 4-time Premier League champions and the last year's finalists of the FA Cup, and they want to take us on our own patch and be able to knock us out. So we've got to be really careful. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Plymouth expert. I do know that they play a 3-4-2-1 formation, which means they have the potential almost here to have 7 players back at any one time. So it's going to be tight for space. It's going to be difficult for City to create, and they're going to have players who can spring counter-attacks. They're physical. They're going to be looking for set pieces. They're going to be looking for them 1 or 2 moments, and in them 1 or 2 moments, using that physical side of their play to try and bully the Manchester City defence into creating them 1 or 2 chances, and in the hope that they can keep hold of a clean sheet and 1 or 2 of them chances does stick. And Leyton Orient did a pretty good job on City away from home in the 4th round of not creating too much, scoring a wonderful goal with that lob, which I thought was a foul on Nico, but here we are. And then all of a sudden, City had to bring on the big boys, Kevin De Bruyne helping Manchester City to be able to win that game and narrowly go through. And I'm expecting something similar. I don't think this will be a very high-scoring game. I think it'll be a pretty close game, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm looking at the team. I'm expecting Bundo to be starting up top. I think Callum Wright, one of the dangers for Plymouth, for City to be wary of in attack. I reckon Tijani scored in the last game, could potentially be starting in this game. Adam Randall I've heard of as well, playing in central midfield. Got a good left wing back in Puskás as well. So there's a lot of physical presence as well at the back. So lots of dangers that City really do need to be wary of. Now, Plymouth are missing 3 players, Edwards, Galloway and Hardy, all missing from this match. So I'm expecting Plymouth to go with a 3-4-2-1 formation. Hazard starting in goal. Talierverov starting at the back along with Katic and Paulsen, with Zooks and Puskás starting as their 2 wing backs. Randall and Horton starting as their 2 central midfielders, with Wright on one side, Tijani on the other and Bundu starting up top. Now, before I do speak about Manchester City, I do want to speak more about today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Stocks FC. I've got my portfolio available, made up of 10 players. I've got Milinkovic from Nottingham Forest, Justin Kluivert from AFC Bournemouth, Gibbs White from Nottingham Forest, Isak from Newcastle, Alisson from Liverpool, Verbruggen from Brighton, along with 4 Manchester City players including Josko, Gvardiol, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush. I'm hoping that's going to really help me to earn regular dividend payments. So my rewards were at 75 cents last week, now up to 92 cents. So we are growing ever so slowly, but it's good to see. Remember, the more you're willing to put in, the more you're going to get back out from it. Now, my portfolio was valued at $37.45 last week, now up to $52.56 thanks to me adding Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush to my squad. Erling Haaland was a recommendation from you guys, so if you do have any more recommendations, simply let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can add them stocks to my portfolio. But I do want to say a big thank you to Stocks FC for sponsoring this video. Remember, you can come and join me on Stocks FC. All you need to do, press the link in the description or scan the QR code. That'll take you to the sign up page. It's free to sign up, and you'll also be given 5 free loan stocks to help get you started. So do go take advantage of that. Links and details, they are in the description, and thank you to Stocks FC for sponsoring this video. But on with this preview. So Manchester City, formed in 1894, led by manager Pep Guardiola, find ourselves 4th in the Premier League with 10 wins in 27 games in all competitions. We've lost 3 of our last 5 games in all competitions, including 2 against Real Madrid. That's 2 games. A loss against Liverpool last weekend by 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium, but we did beat Newcastle the weekend before by 4-0, and we did play midweek where we beat Tottenham Hotspur away from home 1-0 in the Premier League. In terms of the FA Cup, in the 3rd round we knocked out Salford City at the Etihad Stadium, winning that game by 8-0. So that was against a League 2 side, that's Tier 4. Then in Tier 3 League 1 we beat Leyton Orient away from home in the 4th round by 2-1, which sets up this clash now between Manchester City and Plymouth Argyle in the 5th round of the FA Cup. In terms of injury news for Manchester City, Rodri's out for the season, Akanji out until the middle of April, John Stones too. Erling Haaland fit and training, should be good to go for this game if City do decide to start him. Oscar Bobb training, I think this might be just a little too short for Oscar Bobb. It sounds like from Pep's press conference we're not going to be seeing Oscar Bobb until after the international break. Might be the same with Claudio Echeverri. He's only just joined up a couple of days ago. City is still having a suss out of how he's going to work, what he's going to offer to the first team, but could well make the squad, and if he does, in contention to make his debut. And if things are going well for City in this game, I'd be tempted to chuck Echeverri on for his debut and give him 10 or 15 minutes. It's brilliant to have an extra player available for us, a high quality, technically gifted player, so chuck him in at the deep end, make him have his debut for this game. If things are going well, why not? So this game for Manchester City, there's been a lot of games recently, so do expect some rotation because of that, but this is the final game where we've been playing every 3 to 4 days for the next few weeks, going into the international break and after the international break, more or less for the next 6-7 weeks. City are going to be playing once a week rather than every 3 to 4 days, and this is a perfect time after this game for City to be working on player fitness, fatigue and injuries, and hopefully it can get easier for City from here on out. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction now for this game. I reckon Ortega starts ahead of Ederson in this goal. Rotation of the goalkeepers. Back four made up of Rico Lewis, Khusanov, Vitor Reis and Nathan Ake. Rotation for Josko Gvardiol. I think he's one of the most important players here for City to give a full rest to. Pep Guardiola seems to have already confirmed that Vitor Reis is good to go for this game and potentially start in this game. I am excited to see what he can offer. Now into midfield, for me, I go with Nico O'Reilly. I've gone with him ahead of Bernardo Silva. So Bernardo Silva's the midfielder for me that misses out. And I've gone with Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne because for me, I think it's important to be giving plenty of minutes and opportunities wherever possible to Man City's young players. So the likes of Khusanov, the likes of Reis, the likes of O'Reilly, McAtee. I find ways when possible to get them into the squad. I go with O'Reilly, I give Bernardo more of a rest, and I've gone with Gundogan and De Bruyne because I feel like Gundogan and De Bruyne really need this more than Bernardo Silva. I'm looking at Gundogan, I'm looking at De Bruyne, and I'm thinking to myself, in terms of midfield, I want them to be creating opportunities and being the difference. Might be tiring, ageing legs. Plymouth are not a rapid, quick side who are going to do a lot of high pressing. They're going to sit tight. They're going to not give Manchester City an inch, not going to give us any space. It's going to be a really physical battle. So for me, no problem with tired legs starting this game, but I'd rather rotate them. And if we have to go with a couple of aging players like Gundogan and De Bruyne, then go with them. They've got the experience there, and I want them to show their quality because ultimately there is the potential that Gundogan and or De Bruyne could still be at Manchester City next season. If they are, it will be a bit part featuring season for them, which means they'll be available when City need them to be available for things like cup games. And, you know, this is a perfect time to be seeing the likes of Gundogan and De Bruyne and showcasing what they can do for Manchester City. So for me, I feel like that midfield is the midfield that could maybe win Manchester City this game as long as they are on it. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy, but I'm looking at Gundogan, I'm looking at De Bruyne, and I want them to really get the cog going and make the difference here for City. I found a way to work McAtee into my team by going with him on the right-hand side. I feel Grealish needs minutes. I could have worked him into midfield and gone with Doku or Savinho, but I don't go with Doku. I don't get 3 starts in a row with his injury record that he's had so far at City. Savinho seems to be starting a heck of a lot, so I give him a rest. I give Marmoush a rest, and I give Erling Haaland a bit of a rest, as he has only just come back from that little knee injury knock that he's had. So I'm going with Phil Foden. Again, I'm looking towards Foden to try and make the difference. This would have been where I'd have put Oscar Bobb in for Phil Foden, but Oscar Bobb I don't think is going to be available. So a bit of rotation there. Fresh legs ready for Nottingham Forest next week for the likes of Haaland, Marmoush, Doku, Diaz, Nico, Josko, Gvardiol. I'm protecting them. I have them on the bench if we need them, but I don't try and utilise them. Even Bernardo, Silva as well. And I'm going more with the likes of Grealish, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Foden. I want to see more from them, and if it's not working, they come off. You put on the more regular first team players from this season, and we see if we can that can be enough for Manchester City to go through. But do remember, no replays. If this game is level after full time, we'll go to extra time. If still level after extra time, this game will go to penalties. So City have to be really on it. This is our only chance for silverware this season, so we've got to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pep Guardiola go near enough full strength because we're not playing for another week from here. So we might do, we might not do. I'm just taking this opportunity because we've not got many more opportunities this season to do some rotation. So for me, I take the opportunity, see how it works. If it's not working, I wouldn't hesitate to change things up for the second half. So, score prediction. As I said, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I'm going 2-0 Manchester City, gets the job done. I'm going Foden and De Bruyne showing their quality, getting the goals for City and City to go through. I think both them goals could come in the second half. Now, in terms of my betting tips, I do fancy that Foden, if he does start up top, he's going to be given much more freedom than what he's used to, less pressure on him, and I feel that might bring the best out in him. So I'm going for him to score any time if he starts, and I do fancy that Kevin De Bruyne grabs a goal and an assist. Why not? They're my betting tips. So next up for Manchester City, it is Nottingham Forest away in the Premier League on Saturday, March 8th. Big game when it comes to potential Champions League football for next season. For Plymouth Argyle, they've got Hull City away on March 4th, Tuesday night. 21st taking on 22nd in the Championship. It's a huge relegation game that. Will this game be a nice distraction for them from Championship survival? Can they use that FA Cup form and confidence to try and guide them into safety in the Championship? Seems to have worked so far, or could this game be one game too many and end up being really costly for them? That they may give Man City a game, they're more than likely going to end up going out of the competition, and then all of a sudden, if they end up being really tired and they get beat by Hull City, it's a bit of a disaster for them on Tuesday night when it comes to trying to stay in the Championship. So a bit of squad management needed here for Plymouth Argyle and for Manchester City for two polar opposite reasons. But I'm not taking Plymouth lightly. They're a very physical team, a very good team who deserve to be where they are, deserve to be playing us tomorrow at the Etihad Stadium. It will be a very surreal game for the players and the fans, and I'm looking forward to it. Should be a really good game of football, and hopefully City can get the job done. Now, I will be doing a live watch along for this game. I'll be live tomorrow at 5:15 p.m. GMT on Saturday, so I will see you then. I'll have the links out to that later on today for you to go and set your reminders for. So that has been today's video. Thank you everybody for watching, much appreciated. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video, lets me know that you are enjoying the videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And a big thank you to Stocks FC, today's video sponsor. Remember, press the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. It'll send you to the sign up page, and if you sign up, which is free to do, you'll get 5 free loan stocks as well for you to go and check out as well. So that's much appreciated, and thank you to Stocks FC for sponsoring this preview, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the live watch along of this game. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.